Thank you to Matias for straight up lending me his Blizzard account so I could get started on this video. Great example of why this community rocks. Destiny 2 exploded on PC with all the expected hype of a production of this dimension. And surprisingly, the game's PC performance is much better than can be expected. A good personal break from a series of subpar ports of the past weeks. So if you're trying to play this game on a PC under its minimum requirements and you need a couple of extra tweaks to just get that playable performance, you're in the right place. Welcome to the LowSpecGamer. On this video series I explore ways of playing modern games under their minimum requirements, and today we're taking a very quick look at Destiny 2. While Destiny 2 has minimum requirements on par with other modern big releases, this game is already making itself known for being very well thought out, not only in performance, but in design. While I usually begin for the minimum settings and do not linger a lot on the screen, I wanted to bring some attention to the internal resolution scaler. Most games tend to limit the lower values of the internal resolution to 50%, but Destiny 2 will allow you to drop it to 25 of external resolution. This does not affect UI, and can give your GPU a lot of breathing room, especially if you're using integrated graphics. I will talk about the effects this has on playability in a moment. Apart from that, you can go to the configuration file located on your local app data, roaming, Bungie, Destiny PC, prefs, cbars.xml. Here's the interesting thing. There is a variable for local shadows that sometimes is disabled by the game's autoconfig, but even when you manually drop all the settings to lowest, it is usually still enabled. If this happens to you, then you can manually disable by setting this to 0. I will leave this section of the configuration file in the description for you to copy if you wish. While this does not disable all global shadows, it will remove shadows created by some specific light sources, often indoors, such as this emergency light, which can give you a very subtle boost in performance. It is advisable that you change this VSync to limit FPS to 30, as this game's performance can fluctuate wildly, and setting it to a limit can lead to a more stable experience. Also, since the game uses the Battle.net launcher, if you want to maximize your CPU usage, do not forget to configure it so it closes as soon as you launch the game. So, with all set, I decided to test on a section of the game using the i5 8250U with an IntelUHD graphics 620 at 30% internal resolution, in a mission that I encountered several hours into the game. This mission was an interesting stress test for the game since it has open areas, tons of rain particles and combat. While using such a low internal resolution reduces the game to a pixelated mess, Destiny 2 actually takes some design considerations that facilitate playing under these conditions. In an interview with Bungie's senior technical artist, he commented on how they use something called the squint test to determine how distinguishable an enemy unit is under poor visibility. And this is actually noticeable on the game, as you will be surprised just how effectively you can fight, even on very low internal resolutions. While the performance did drop over 30 on many occasions, the game managed to maintain itself on playable limits, even while in some intense fights. If you will be interested in seeing a more extensive test, including seeing just how much you have to reduce resolution to play this game on a variety of IntelHD models, I wrote a guest article for Laptop Mag about this very topic. Destiny 2 tested on an IntelHD. It was very fun to participate in this sort of thing, so go take a look if you like. Thank you to those who donate as well, for making my life much easier.